Have you been dreaming about wandering through ancient European cities, just soaking in all the different cultures? But then you look at your wallet and kind of sigh? Well, you're in exactly the right place. Stick around, because we're going to show you how to make that dream trip an actual reality without having to break the bank.
So let's just get the big one out of the way, right? I'm sure you're thinking, a trip to Europe, isn't that like crazy expensive? And you know what? That's a totally fair question. It's the one thing that holds so many people back.
Well, I am here to tell you to think again. Seriously, with just a little bit of smart planning, you're going to find out that Europe is way, way more accessible than you ever imagined.
And trust me, it is so worth it. Just picture it, a whole continent just steeped in history, buzzing with all these different cultures, and with some of the most stunning landscapes on the entire planet. There is literally an adventure for everyone.
All right, let's dive in. The first and honestly the most important step for an affordable trip is just picking the right place to go. So right now, we are about to unlock some of Europe's most affordable and amazing treasures.
And you might want to sit down for this. In some of the places we're about to talk about, your daily expenses could start as low as $30. Nope, you heard that right, $30 a day. So let's break down how that's even possible.
First up on our tour, Poland. This country is just packed with history and culture, and it is an absolute gem for anyone traveling on a budget.
So here's the deal. You're looking at daily expenses somewhere between 30 and 50 bucks. And for that, you're not just getting by, you are living well. You can feast on incredible hearty food like pierogi, these amazing dumplings, or bigos, which is this traditional hunter's stew for just a couple of dollars. And the best part, you can soak in centuries of history since so many of the most important sites are either totally free or have super low entrance fees.
Okay, let's keep this trip moving and head over to Hungary, where the gorgeous capital of Budapest is waiting with its own unique vibe and just incredible beauty. Seriously, Budapest is a must-see. Daily expenses here are a little bit higher, but still an amazing deal at around $40 to $60. You can grab a delicious traditional meal for about $5, and even the really iconic experiences are totally doable. A visit to the famous Széchenyi thermal bath, one of the biggest spa baths in all of Europe. It's really reasonably priced. It's basically luxury on a backpacker's budget.
And for our last stop on this little tour, we're heading west to Portugal. Think of this as your ticket to all that classic Western European charm, but without that typical Western European price tag.
You know, there's a reason smart travelers love Lisbon. The cost of living is just so much lower than in places like Paris or London. You'll find tons of charming, affordable guest houses and hostels, and even major sites like the famous Belém Tower are moderately priced. You get all the beautiful tiles, all the fresh seafood, all the sunny vibes for a fraction of the cost.
So this is really the main takeaway right here. When you put these destinations in Eastern and Southern Europe side by side with the big Western capitals, the difference is just huge. You're basically swapping high costs and tourist-priced everything for lower daily expenses, incredible and affordable local food, and tons of budget-friendly things to do. It's a whole different way to travel.
Okay, so you've picked a fantastic, affordable destination. But the savings don't stop there. Not at all. Now, we've got to equip you for the journey. This next part is your toolkit, and it's full of practical, real-world strategies for saving money while you're actually out there. First things first, where you're gonna sleep. This is usually the biggest expense, right? But it doesn't have to be. Just staying a little bit outside the main tourist hub can save you a ton of money, plus you get to see how the locals really live. Hostels and guest houses aren't just cheap, they're an amazing way to meet other travelers. And please, remember the golden rule. Book early, and if you can, be flexible with your dates. That's how you get the best deals.
Now for my favorite subject, food. Look, eating on a budget does not mean you have to eat badly. In fact, it's usually the complete opposite. Go to the local markets for fresh bread, cheese, and fruit. In places like Spain or Portugal, keep an eye out for signs that say Menú del Día. These are fixed-price lunches that locals love, and they're an incredible value. And whatever you do, skip the tourist traps and find the street food stalls. That's where you'll find the real flavor of a city.
Getting around is another place you can save big time. Forget about taxis. Public transportation is your new best friend. Pretty much every European city has a fantastic system of buses, trams, or trains. The first thing you should do when you arrive is get a local travel pass for a day or a week. And hey, if you're going to be hopping between countries, a Eurail pass can be a super cost-effective way to see more of the continent. Okay, so you've saved money on your room, your food, and your transport.
You know what the best part is? That means you have more money to spend on what actually matters, the experience. So let's look at how you can have incredible adventures for less.
I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. You have to remember, the most unforgettable parts of any trip, that stunning mountain view, the feeling of the sand between your toes, those things often don't cost anything at all.
And that's true even in the biggest, most famous cities. You can wander through the ancient historic centers of Rome or Athens for free. You don't have to pay to go up the Eiffel Tower to appreciate how beautiful it is from the park below. And just getting lost in a bustling local market, that's a cultural experience that won't cost you a single cent.
And if you love the outdoors, oh man, Europe is your playground. You can hike through the world-famous Swiss Alps or the Scottish Highlands, rent a bike for a day, and explore a new city from a totally different angle. And honestly, you just can't beat the simple joy of a picnic with some local bread, cheese, and wine in a beautiful park.
Whew, we have covered a lot of ground, from where you should go to how you can save money. So now it's time to put it all together and make this dream a reality.
And it all comes down to this idea, smart travel. See, it's not about being cheap, it's about being clever. It's about using a little bit of planning, a little bit of local knowledge to get the absolute best experience you can without spending a fortune. It's about traveling deeper, not just cheaper.
So let's just quickly recap the big takeaways here. Focus on these amazing affordable capitals like Budapest and Warsaw. For the best all-around value, look towards Eastern Europe. Once you get there, live like a local. Use public transport, eat where you see the locals eating. And don't forget to fill your schedule with all the incredible free stuff, from hiking in the mountains to just exploring the markets.
We've shown you that the European dream is totally within your reach. We've given you the map, we've given you the toolkit, so now the only question left is the most exciting one of all. Where will your adventure take you first?